Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrine's Google Hangout. I'm your host, Carl Albert, and you have now entered into our Hangout. And people, we having a discourse with my brother Chris Wilson this morning. So I entitled it today's show, Chris Wilson, 6 Degrees of Separation, how the conscious community ties into the Dallas shooting, right? You might want to say the conscious community don't tie into the Dallas shooting, but the degrees of separation puts the conscious community knee deep in this situation. For at least 2 years now, the conscious community, or those in the conscious community, has been tied into this ongoing saga, right? The saga continues. Number one player on the radar was King Noble. We know last year King Noble made a statement for Black Lives Matter that went viral on Alex Jones' InfoWars. They put the conversation out there. A lot of people picked up on it. Richard Sherman from the Seattle Seahawks picked up on it. He spoke about it. I spoke about it in the sense that, you know, the brother Red Pill was trying to say that King Noble was not a part of the conscious community. If you go back and check out my videos, you will see that, you know, we had a couple words about that, not towards each other or whatever, but we had a couple back and forth statements about, you know, King Noble being a part of the conscious community, in the sense that when Sarnetta went to Atlanta, the Martin Malcolm X thing a couple years back, he was, you know, he had King Noble on the camera, as well as the real, well, the atheists of Atlanta, the black atheists of Atlanta, Ankh and his crew, you know, Ankh being the real black atheist. And King Noble was right there. They was all talking. They was all on Sarnetta TV, the House of Consciousness. So therefore, like anyone that goes on the House of Consciousness platform, Sarnetta TV, then, you know, you're a part of the community now. You have been initiated into the community. But Red Pill wanted to say that the man was not, you know, sanctioned by a certain teacher, this, that, and the other. This, you know, is what it is, people. So King Noble is a part of the conscious community. If he's not a part of the House of Conscious, then that's another thing. But to be a part of Black consciousness, he most definitely weaved himself into it. And the degrees of separation is just what they is. Like I said, King Noble was down in Atlanta doing this thing. Sarnetta came down there and put him on camera. That's it. That's the degrees of separation. Now we got an incident, you know, the shooting in Dallas, Texas. And Professor Griff, someone that's truly known in the conscious community, has been to, you know, different programs and stuff in the conscious community, has also been put in the certain degrees of separation from the alleged shooter in Dallas, Texas. The brother took a picture with Professor Griff. So now, how many degrees of separation are you from Professor Griff in this community? From, you know, taking pictures with him at events and things of that nature, where if something happened, they'll tie you in by facial recognition, this and that, to, you know, Professor Griff or any other individual that's been in the conscious community doing lectures and taking pictures with those who support the, you know, different venues and things of that nature. So people, that's pretty much it. You know, I'm just waking up, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to have this conversation. My brother Chris Wilson here, you know, he's on that East Coast, so he's probably an hour, you know, more alert than me. So we're going to give him the mic now, and we just gonna start going in and talking about the conversation. Like I said, it's not an interview. It's more of a dialogue between me and the brother. I just wanted to set that up. Probably did a bad setup, but it is what it is. We got the conversation on the table, and it's about to start rolling and getting deeper. Chris, you with a piece? How you doing this morning, bro?
Peace, brother Carl. What's up, man? Once again, appreciate the opportunity. Look forward to a good dialogue, man. I really like that opening monologue you delivered right there. Hit on a lot of different points.
All right, well,
Especially what you said, about King Noble and that whole thing. What I found interesting with that is how they distance themselves from King Noble. King Noble, he's a hard guy to understand for a lot of people. You know, but obviously, just really radical. Straight to the point. He doesn't really dance around. What he wants to get out, his message that he wants to get out. So, when he did the whole open season thing, obviously that's when a lot of the so-called conscious community voice boxes, they came out and they didn't really want to associate with King Noble and his message, and even going as far as saying, he's not a part of the conscious community, which they just didn't want to be associated with the backlash, amongst white folks and people who thought that was just a little bit too radical, But then you see the direction that they're going in towards, they want to be more popular, and they want to appeal more to what's going on in pop culture and things like that. So the revolutionary talk, the radicalism, the throwback, like Khaled once said, kill them all, kill the babies too, stuff like that. It's we're a little further from that now, from these talking heads of the conscious community. So yeah, definitely. Then you had the Professor Griff situation. He separating himself from the guy. The guy took a picture with him. They pulled it up. You had the thing where you saw it too in that Facebook group, the photo. You know which one I'm talking about, right? The one that they posted in the
yeah, the one I made a video on a couple of days ago where the brother took the picture and he was claiming that Kemet raised that dude up to do the shooting. What's his name? Johnson. I can't think of his name now. But the alleged shooter, Mr. Johnson, they was claiming Kemet was claiming him as a shooter for them and saying that at the end of the day, this the type of people that we got, and Hebrew Israelites are soft and everything. You've seen the picture. All you got to do is go back, look through my archives, videos, and you'll see. I make a lot of videos, so it's probably 6 or 7 videos back now. But yeah, he was basically trying to push people to be a copycat and say that Hebrew Israelites is soft. They not gonna put in that type of work for the revolution. You know what I'm saying? So once again, the division in the community and the agent provocateur work in the community is just that. This brother was using provocatory language to try to provoke people into somewhat be a copycat. And these are the type of things that, whether you believe it or not, people, when you're on Facebook, 6 degrees of separation becomes real small, real small. Your circle become real small, and it's easy for you to be one that's friends with someone on Facebook because they'll ask, as many people ask on Facebook, are any of y'all Facebook friends with this guy? And it's like, you could be Facebook friends with him. You could be in one of these groups with him. And, you know, if he's spitting radicalism, then you could be tied into it by posting on one of the posts and things of that nature. That's why the administrators of these groups got to do better administration. You know, I got a group, Black Intelligentsia, right? And I laid down law in them. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you, right? I laid down law in there, and everybody like, yeah, thank you. No radicalism, no craziness in my groups.
Yeah, it was funny to me because it was like one of those things where it's like, that's our guy. You know, the shooting happened, then, you know, the photo goes up and it's like, oh, you know, this is one of the chemists. This guy was into chemists. You know, they had the picture of him with the dashiki on. And which, you know, I brought up how, you know, just 5, 6 years ago, I was wearing the same garb, talking Black Power, doing all that. And, you know, at that time, it was different. You know, now it's more trendy. It's more of a trend to be so-called Black conscious. That's like a new trend now. I see a lot of people, even that I knew on Facebook, that were never into that kind of stuff. Now all of a sudden, you know, they're posting the memes with Black Twitter. Back when I was on Twitter, they used to call it the Hotep meme and things like that. So it's more of a trend now. So, you know, when I saw this, it reminded me, like you said, that's like ISIS coming out and you know, accepting or, you know, taking responsibility for a terrorist attack that happened. You know, so they put the picture up. You know, it got a whole bunch of likes. You got people going back and forth on the comments. You know, hundreds of comments on the photo. People going back and forth, and you know, it's just it just reminds me of, you know, that type of situation where it's like a terrorist group claiming responsibility for an attack.
Right.
You know, but
And
then when you really look at, go ahead, brother.
this being domestic terrorism, right? It will fall up under that category. And you have people that's tying comedic people coming into it, which will make what's the dude name? Michael Johnson, meet whatever, tying him into a domestic terrorist group known as the Comedics. You know what I'm saying? Of the Comedic community. And once again, as I said, the leaders, the so-called leaders, is not getting out in front of this, but they have to. And the worst part about it, they talk crazy about Bambaataa going to the quote-unquote white media with this child molestation charges against him in the 72 hours that they gave him. They talk bad about Bambaataa not coming to the black media. Even to this day, he hasn't made it over to the so-called social media, black media outlets, black social media outlets, however you know want to say that. But where's Sonetta? Why he's not over there with Griff right now? He might get a chance to go to Griff, but you and Griff friends. What, you don't want to put Griff on your camera? You don't want to bring him on Black News 102 now? You don't want to bring him on your thing because the people got the hot light on them? You know what I'm saying? But let's look at this, people. This is an article right here, right? And it said public enemy. Number one, look at the wording, public enemies, right? But if you drop that off, it say public enemy, Professor Griff. So they already making him a public enemy, going back to his group name, which is in the Hall of Fame now and stuff. Denies what? Association with suspected, I mean, Dallas cop killer tweets, "I do not know the shooter," right? So he denies Friday having associations with the suspect who fatally shot 5 cops in downtown Dallas. They didn't even tell you that it was 12 or whatever because they can't get that right. I done seen different headlines showing that they can't get the proper number. It said he killed 11 and some, but the 55-year-old rapper, they not saying that he's an activist or anything like that. Now they just calling him a rapper. Was forced to deny his his situation with it. Here we go. This the gentleman name right here. Let's blow that up for y'all, so y'all will have it. Let's blow it up a little bit more, right? Y'all know I can't read, so I'm gonna let Alex tell us. Put my computer to work this morning. Freeze up, computer.
Mike Xavier Johnson, 25.
So, Mike, Mike, I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to know how to pronounce it for myself. My brain freeze up on stuff like that, y'all. I'm a functioning illiterate. So he said on Twitter, "I don't know the shooter. You know, I don't know the shooter. You in a picture with the shooter, Mr. Griff? How you don't know this gentleman? See the dashiki in the back? I like pointing that out. If you look closely to the at the pic, you can see what event they went to. But anyway, this is where I got the little thing at, right? I will not sit back and let these people assassinate my character and tie me to the Dallas shooting he had, right? So, as y'all can see, he said this on Twitter because I went to his Twitter and seen it. He said, "They know who I talk to. I do not advocate killing cops. I do not train snipers to kill cops." So he went to his own social media platform and did his thing, letting people know, "I do not know this guy. I do not advocate killing cops." But the gentleman that posted in the group, you just go watch the video, he was advocating that that's what comedic people do. We raise up people that go out here and put in work on the pig, the police, this, that, and the other. Y'all know the terms that's been used over the years. You know what I'm saying? The bonic slang that we use to talk about the police, 5-0 pig, the man. You know what I'm saying? You can come in anytime you want, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you know, it's like, it goes back to what is the affiliation of the person? You know, it goes back to motives. You know, what is the motive of the shooter? You know, who is the shooter tied to? What type of beliefs or ideals, you know, does the shooter hold? So, you know, when you had the gay nightclub shooting that happened, you know, immediately they went to Islam. He was Islamic, okay? So, you know, they go to other things that happen. You know, you had Christian separatist groups and white supremacy groups and things like that. So they could actually use this and say, well, what is his affiliation? Even though Griff says, well, look, I don't know the guy, I'm not affiliated with the guy, they could still say his affiliation is with the so-called black consciousness, which I don't know if, you know, that's a term that they would use. Sounds like a buzzword to me. So you know, they would affiliate him with that particular school of thought, as something that could possibly be a motivating factor to why he did it. Also, media sensationalism. You know, a lot of people fall into that. So, you know, it's a lot of things going on here. But yeah, definitely, you know, I thought that was interesting. The thing with Griff, because, you know, dealing with the conscious community, you know, you got a lot of speakers. You got a lot of people that, you know, you want to go see. You want to go see this guy. You want to go see that guy.
Well, you
You know,
for years now,
they become like celebrities of the movement. They become like you know,
yeah,
the pastors
the
of the
police,
movement.
the Sarah Setties, the you know, the different, you know, vocals, the vocal box for the community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Umar
Yeah.
Johnson, the David Banners, the this, that, and the other. All this stuff ties in. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, the degrees of separation once again. So once you tie them in, tie Griffin and Sarnetta together, everyone that been on Sarnetta camera on 125 all these years are a suspect. Everyone that tunes in to Sarnetta TV is a suspect. Because when you talking about, especially with a SETI bang on the beast, you motivating people to do things of this nature in a sense. You know what I'm saying? From a government perspective. That's just what it is. So now, remember, I've been saying when the debate stop and the bloodshed start, what, right? I've been saying that pretty
Right.
soon somebody in the community gonna do some stupid shit, and then all of us gonna be looked at and stuff. So here it is, people. It's on the doorsteps today. It's just here. Now all the people that's been talking all this radical and doing all this shit, are y'all gonna get scared? Like people coming to my channel after I put up the stuff like, oh, you sound like you scared. I sound like, not that I ain't. I'm not afraid. Number one, because I haven't did anything wrong, and I'm not gonna do anything wrong. I'm righteous. Anything I do is gonna be righteous at the end of the day. But just this video alone ties some in now. You know what I'm saying? So get mad at me for saying that. But the thing is, once again, to blow the trumpet in the community and say, all you dumbasses that's running around worshiping these people, showing love to these people, your credit cards and PayPals and shit is tied into these people because you support them financially and stuff. The 6 degrees of separation is here. How you gonna separate yourself from the bullshit now? How you gonna do that if you haven't been doing it before? How you gonna separate yourself from the bullshit now? Because when the people come, they got all the records. There's really no separating yourself from somebody. They're gonna say, how do you know this person? Well, I support his movement. Well, domestic terrorism, they're gonna say you supporting domestic terrorism because you're giving money to domestic terrorists. So
Yeah, that's the thing. It's okay for them to create a climate that allows things like that to happen, but when it happens, then they like to separate themselves from it, you know. But like you said, that's interesting about the donation thing too, you know. They could go back and see, you know, what type of causes did you contribute to? You know, what did you contribute your money to? What did you contribute your time to? You know, did you go to a Sarah Susan Seti speech? I remember he was supposed to come to the Main Street Library in Newport News. They wouldn't let him come, you know, because it was you know, they said they won't allow racism to be promoted or whatever. So they wouldn't let him come to the library.
yeah, well,
You know, look at stuff like that. Like, what type of events are you going to? You know, who are you listening to? What type of videos are you watching? You know.
But let's go back. Let's go back, because what happened is when you go to the National Black Theater, is it cameras in that building? Do they have footage of all the participants that come in? Is it cameras in the elevator like Beyonce and Jay-Z? You know, they captured that footage in the elevator. So now, do we know who all come to the National Black Theater to listen to these people that speak this type of, have this type of conversation, this type of speech going on? So now, once again, how do the National Black Theater tie to this? Africa Bambaataa got y'all in the National Black Theater because he introduced it to who? Ali Muhammad. Ali Muhammad said ISIS was taken from him and that they was trying to tie him into ISIS. So when we say, or you say ISIS claiming Dallas shooter, a Kemetic claiming Dallas shooter, look what you just did, people. Like I told the Hebrew Israelites a while ago with James White and all of them, all this stuff is not a coincidence, people. It's an election year. Trump is rallying the people up. You know what I'm saying? James White at the Hebrew Israelites and stuff, after Sadnetta and them brought Harry Rosenberg in the beginning of the year, right? And put a bird eyes view on the conscious community and how they treated the Jew when he came now. All of this stuff is a build-up, people. What did Harry Rosenberg call himself trying to expose on that stage in the beginning of it? Masonry, this and that. What did he say? I'm not a Mason, but you all in here, all of that stuff, you all are closer to this stuff than me. Illuminati, this, that, and the other. Now that ties back into my brother here that went off on the Dumb and Rock Squad once upon a time for people coming out. They mouth saying they Masons, but they didn't tell them beforehand that they was Masons. Because once again, it's degrees of separation. So when you become part of and Rock Squad, Mossy Warrior Clan, Team Osiris and stuff, look what you tying yourself into, people. I'm telling y'all, y'all have been supporting and giving y'all energy to the wrong people. And once again, they agent provocateurs, and they really seem like they've been set up by the government or used by the government by whatever means that came about. I can't tell you, but anytime an outfit, a group of individuals push the type of stuff that comes off that platform and stuff, which is detrimental to the community, right? Then you have to start questioning what the hell is going on over there. And that's the problem with you all. Y'all would say that I am a hater, and you don't want to look at the fact that everything that I keep telling y'all, like y'all gonna get yourself caught up messing with these people, and y'all don't speak up against this stuff. See, if you spoke up against it, when the people come, they gonna say, well, he might have had something to do with this, right? But at the same time, look at what he's saying. Look at what he's doing. He's pushing against this. And when they look and they don't see you pushing against it, they gonna say you advocated it. And in these Facebook groups and everything where these conversations going on, don't think Mark Zuckerberg won't get them permission to get in your account and use your information against you. So you guilty to proving innocent, because what they bring in is going to make you guilty. So people, we on the brink of what? We on the brink of what? Am I scared of it? Hell no. We on the brink of this chaos and bullshit and confusion that's been stirred up in this community, the black community. Fuck the conscious community, right? The black community, to the point where they're going to try to bring it down on our heads. everybody that has participated in Black Conscious. You know the movie with what's his name, Roddy Piper, put on the glasses and he starts seeing the stuff. They're gonna say you can see now. You have been woken up from the matrix. Polite has became your Neo and woke you up from the matrix, and he's the Nasut of the comedic community. So on and so forth, people. 6 degrees of separation. Do you know what the theory's all about? If you understand the theory, then you understand the play that's going to come about through your social media associations, affiliations.
Absolute. That's absolute. Yeah, there was a lot of people. You know, when I started networking on Facebook years ago, like back 2010, 2011, I had people up there, you know, that I didn't necessarily know were like well-known people in the conscious community. I had Zaza Ali. She was one of my friends because, you know, at that time I was messing with the Nation of Islam, and I guess she was like suggested or whatever. I didn't know she was going to be, you know, as popular. We were just like friends or whatever on Facebook. But, you know, it's just certain people, like sometimes, you know, just your affiliation with certain people could throw you in there. And social media, you know, that's one thing that they look at, you know. What type of people are they following? What type of statuses are they liking? So you got all these guys liking this picture in this group, basically tying him into Kemet, and also continuing in the tradition, which I actually apologize for even being a part of that environment, with the whole Kemet versus Hebrew Israelite thing, which is still going on. He would actually say that, you know, this is what the Kemetic community produces. We produce killers or whatever he said, and Hebrew Israelites are scared. They're not doing nothing. They're waiting on Jesus to come back. You know, then you had a whole bunch of likes and a whole bunch of, yeah, that's right, Hotep, whatever. You know, who's writing this stuff? Who's writing this stuff? Who's giving this stuff a thumbs up? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, it's that type of stuff, man. And the trap I see a lot of people falling into is the sensationalism. Television is a powerful tool of moving the zeitgeist of the time. And, you know, my question was, why is the media all of a sudden interested in shootings, white police officers and black victims? You know, and it's like back to back to back. And it's so crazy because just last year, I was just getting hammered with stories like that, and it's still going on. And like you said, we're in an election year. You had a lot of slave movies coming out. You got a lot of you had the Roots remake and things like that. You know, and just trying to stay abreast of current events is just torture. It's just complete torture now. Because like I said, 5-6 years ago, people were making jokes, talking about, you know, calling me racist, saying this, that, and the third. I actually lost friends that I knew for a long time, you know, getting all pro-black on them. But now it's a trend. Now it's trendy. Now it's you know, everybody's a social activist and Black Pride, Black Lives Matter, hashtag. You know, someone dies, hashtag. You know, that's it. That's the type of stuff that's going on. People are falling into the sensational trap. It's sensationalism. A lot of it is aggression and racism and sensationalism.
Yeah, it's social engineering. That's what people fail to realize, that the House of Conscious, that the conscious community speakers in that has been social engineering them as well. They don't believe that they have been socially engineered, programmed for this atmosphere to be, not to be killers, but to be victims. Okay, Once again, as I said, I don't know if the man killed somebody or not. At this point, it's alleged that he's the shooter. Once again, they could have seen him, profiled him, and prepared to even do this with Griff and everything. And he could have been out there marching, protesting, seeing that he want to be an activist and stuff. And soon he went out there, they targeted him, ran him down, killed him, and said, he's the shooter, he's the shooter. Because they basically lynched him, they killed him with the drone without any trial or whatever. We did not get to hear his voice or whatever. What they played us, how do we know that that's his voice? His family will have to say, well, yes, that's my son speaking there and all of that stuff. We haven't heard none of those things. So who's to say that this guy really did something? Right? But once again, the media does what they do. Propaganda, sell you a story and you buy it. It's social engineering. This is the same thing that goes on in the conscious community. Y'all been engineered. That's why, as we were speaking, when Red Pill was like, King Noble is not a part of this community. Why do you want to distance yourself from him? If it was Sarah Seti, right, on his Bang on the Beast speech at that time, and they grabbed him and they started posting him on InfoWars, then you most definitely wouldn't have been able to get away with it. Because we know Sarah Seti to be 10 toes down in the House of Conscious, in the conscious community, right? Same thing with King Noble, though, because let's just look at the degrees of separation and how this stuff ties in again. You got in the black media gets into it with Griff early last year or middle of last year. They video go viral. Them and Professor Griff, that video went viral. That motherfucker got out the roof, right? So you got that going on. Little arguments, little disputes, this, that, and the other things going on. Now, in the black, Sonetta get into it. Then you got other stuff going on. Look at all these people getting tied into this chaos in the community, fighting over stuff in the community, who's beefing in the community and stuff. When they come looking, they gonna come look at it all, right? So King Noble come into play, right? King Noble come into play in this beef between these two social media outlets, right? Remember, King Noble just got through saying this open season last year. Shit, making Alex Jones. Sonetta just went viral and went big time, cussing out the Asian woman or whatever, right? Remember, this shit is hidden. What is it? The hip hop world star hip hop. Polite's going viral damn near every video he put out. Remember? And the same thing when he was talking about I need white folks as friends and stuff. His videos shooting up viral. They popularizing. Is to be conscious, as Chris saying, is becoming pop culture now. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar speaking out. Beyonce speaking out. This shit is becoming pop culture in the sense of the word, right? They selling consciousness to the people. And while they selling consciousness to the people, look what just happened. They shut down Interstate 40 right here. Interstate 40 is right down that way, right? Now, we done had incidents before around here where Interstate 40 gets shut down. And when Interstate 40 gets shut down, that's the heart of America if you don't know it. Everything from the tip top of Southern California all the way to Florida is on Interstate 40. These people came out last night and shut it down in Memphis, the new bridge. So that means all traffic would go to the old bridge. They got 2 bridges in Memphis you can go across. They got the new bridge. That's the one y'all see with the lights and stuff on it. Then they got the old bridge, right? So now, look, if you take the old bridge, you're going through town more. You take the new bridge, you still on 40. They shut it down, people. Now, who organized that is the question. What happened with that? I went to sleep. I didn't see the end results when they left, how long it was shut down. But one thing about it, they didn't grab the attention of the American government. They shut their highway down. They didn't shut a street in a city down. They didn't flood a street. They flooded Interstate 40 and shut it down. So, once again, while they're popularizing consciousness and y'all taking it in, and then they come with the Black Lives Matter thing, which, you know, more and more people talking about the sodomite agenda that's going on over there and this, that, and everything else, right? People, the more you activate, the more they gonna get at you now. Once again, if you have been waking up from the matrix and you want to participate in this stuff, they're building a climate, 6 degrees of separation, where they gonna start taking people out more and more, right? You scream revolution, throw the black fists up. That's the whole thing with Beyonce and the Black Panthers and stuff, right? That whole thing, Cam Newton. Look at all this stuff. I mean, you can say it's a coincidence. Huey P. Newton, Cam Newton, the Panthers against, come on, people. Is this stuff a joke, or are they once again engineering this stuff? And are we gonna fall for it? Well, if we do not separate ourselves from this beast system, right? And the internet is part of it too. Even if you can't physically separate from it, as we talked, and from a biblical perspective, you could be of the internet world, you could be of the conscious community, but you could be in it, but you ain't got to be of it. Meaning, the stuff that they're on, you can separate yourselves by just doing the opposite of it. And that's being positive, that's trying to put out the truth, the real messages, and things that really need to be talked about. But if you're participating in agent provocateur stuff, you know, once again, your pale Arab sleeper cell and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? All of these things, you know, you're gonna be on the hot list. They're gonna look at you, they're gonna check you out, because you're provoking stuff in the community in a time where provoking people, like I said about the brother that put up the picture that Chris was talking about, and you could jump in anytime. He trying to provoke a weak-minded Hebrew Israelite to say, well, if Kemet doing this and we supposed to be competing against each other, Kemetic versus Hebrew Israelite, then the Hebrew Israelites got to catch somebody. People, this shit is serious. Once again, social engineering and fucking with people's mind. You got to watch it right now. You have to protect your mind from the images that's going on. Every time you look around, they're making black people more and more afraid of cops, and cops afraid of black people by pushing the images constantly on the internet, just pushing images on you. And so all you see in your subconscious is this thing over and over again. So people, we got to watch it. We have to watch it. And the people that is responsible for your mental engineering right now, those that's engineering you, you have to make sure that they feeding you the right thing. If they're not feeding you the right thing, stop fucking dealing with these people.
Yeah. I want to say too, you know, with the images, a lot of people now, I mean, police do more than what what people think they do. You know, I was just in Baltimore a couple weeks ago, and I didn't actually see it, but I was I went to go pick up my cousin out there, and you know, he was telling me, you know, we saw some police out there, whatever, holding the child. And, you know, he was telling me like, oh man, you missed it, man. This baby just walked out in the middle of the street, and there was traffic coming, and the cop just ran out in the middle and grabbed the baby like on some Bruce Willis type stuff. You know, so you gotta understand, like, police do more than what a lot of, you know, the media tries to portray, that, you know, they're just guys who go around stopping people and shooting people. I mean, stuff like that obviously happens, but a lot of this is just getting sensationalized, and it's to the point where it's like, look, you gotta understand something. This has been going on for a long time. Okay, you had the Watts riots. All right, you know, you had that whole situation with what's his name, Rodney King, right? Then you had Reginald Denny, that, you know, the white guy that got beat up and stuff like that. So it's always going to be there. It's always going to happen. But when you sensationalize it, you're making it as if this is something that, you know, this is a big thing. So every time it happens, we gotta keep throwing it out there. Oh yeah, and by the way, go see the Slave movie that's coming out next week. So now you're watching the Slave movie. Then you go home. Now you watch the news. Then you go watch Sinetta TV. Now you're just hot. You know, now you're just steaming, because it's something that's flowing through your consciousness that's not allowing you to see the bigger picture. See, but I always liked King Noble because he had an anti-capitalist message. And, you know, that's why a lot of people in the so-called conscious community don't like him, because he's not, you know, he's against capitalism as it's represented in America. You know, and I feel like that part of the conscious community is missing. A lot of it is missing, and we're just focusing on Black Lives Matter, and just a lot of the sensationalism and things that's going on in the media. I mean, I could get into hoaxes and things like that, but I mean, at this point, I wouldn't want
it's the engineering, man. It's the engineering. Even with King Noble, black supremacy. You know what I'm saying? White supremacy. Okay, we the opposite of white supremacy, but we are equivalent to white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? In the sense, you got to think, what is white supremacy? Now you just gonna blackwash it. We just gonna blackwash white supremacy and put black faces on it. That's what I was trying to tell people, and be trying to tell people. If you being a black man just turn around and take the white man position from him, oh, you can't sit in that office no more, and you go in there and do the same thing that the white man did. Now you know better than a white man. You are oppressor, and we're supposed to be against all oppression, wherever you find oppression, right? But people are not against oppressor. They just against white oppression. People are not shutting down Interstate 40 for all the fucking killings that they do over there in Memphis every day. Every other day, either the news is lying or they telling the truth. Every other day, blacks killing blacks in Memphis. Ain't nobody saying Black Lives Matter, let's go shut down Interstate 40. But somebody rally them up. Shooting in Dallas, they shooting people in Baton Rouge, they shooting people here, they shooting people there. You see what happened? Let's get together now and go shut down Interstate 40, because the cops is killing us. White cops, Asian cops is killing us. Let's go shut it down.
Yeah. So they make it to where, like, you know, it's a big thing. You got to pay attention to this. I always like to use the example of back in World War II, Hitler with the motorcycles. You know, they thought that the German army had a whole lot of motorcycles because they kept putting it on film. But in reality, they only had about 30 motorcycles. But they made it look like they had a whole bunch. And see, this is what the news is doing. So, yeah, that's where a lot of this mass protest and Black Lives Matter, it's a reaction. You know, it's a reaction to sensationalizing events over and over and over. That's exactly what it is. And it kind of takes you off the focus. It kind of takes the focus off what, you know, people should be doing. Because you do feel good when you put your energy into something, but, you know, a lot of it is just ridiculous. My true opinion on Black Lives Matter is that it's just ridiculous. You know, it's other things. It's other things that can be done in other ways to handle things rather than you know, protesting and you know, some of the things that they say at these protests. It really doesn't make any of this stuff look good.
Right. I mean, like I said, it's man, it's them weaving the narrative though. See, the thing is, they give you your heroes, they give you your people to believe in. Right? You don't choose them, you don't pick them. Sinetta give you your heroes. Huh? This the Hebrew Israelite that you should be listening to. We got them packaged and ready-made for you. We know what he gonna say, how he gonna say it. And here you go. Captain Tazariak, dog. You know what I'm saying? He hate Africans, this, that, and the other. Now you see people like Reggie came on yesterday and said, well, you know, he's changing a little bit and stuff. Look, either Tazariak's Sinetta puppet now, or he's still General Yohana puppet. Who puppet is he? Because he still got strings on him. He ain't cut the strings. Right? Who puppet is he? And both of them his puppeteers. As I said early in the year, you know I be on this stuff. I talk shit about all of it. Right? Earlier this year, it's simple. Sinetta pimping, General Yohana hoeing, and hoeing out ISUPK to Sinetta TV. That's how I seen it then. That's how I see it now. It's simple as that. Then look at the agent provocateur and the different stuff that's going over there with a person like Polite bringing that man wife on or ex-wife or whatever, and then the whole conversation about they had that man house bug. Remember, I'm telling you that it's people that's in the back chat, Google back chats, where you having private Google talks and people recording the conversations. The brother recorded my conversation and said he gonna give it to people that was calling themselves beefing with me at the time, and they gonna put it all on social media and stuff. Who does that, people? These are agent provocateurs. Anytime you gonna sit back and record a private conversation that we having over the internet, right? Not broadcasting it live like this and then say, oh, I got the audio, I'm finna go put it out in the public. I keep telling y'all, whoever opens these Pandora boxes, they are the ones that you gotta watch out for. The Pair Arab is the first one to put addresses out there. My addresses, which is on my website. It's no secret where he got it from. It's on my website. But he opened that Pandora box, which led to Professor Griff's address being put out there. And they blaming it on In the Black and Zaza, Lee, and all of that stuff. See how people is setting people up? Griff seems to be a prime suspect and damn near a lot of stuff that's going on in the community. Somehow or another, his degrees of separation is like 1. So 1 degrees. You know him, how did you? Huh? But see how they was trying to tie In the Black in because they got the beefing with Griff early in the year to the address going out. Agent provocateur people, and they keeping a chronological timeline on this thing. They have the records. Even your sleeper cells, Pair Arab sleeper cell, he has the records. Believe me, he has the records. He has that, yeah, every communication that comes out of the conscious community. You don't believe me? Them Negroes over there know. He got all the Sinetta footage, live streams, everything. He called in to my show the other day and he was recording. When he called in to clown, try to clown a little bit, he was recording me. And it's like, how do you get time to sit at home? Like people say to me, I ain't got no job, so I got plenty of time. I ain't got number 24 hours every day to do what I want to. But how do you have a job, independent or whatever, and yet you got time to focus on everybody, you know what I'm saying, broadcast and stuff? How do you find the time? People, it's not a game. This shit is getting real. And if y'all don't start closing down shop in what they call when the storm come bedding down the hatches so the flood don't come into your ship and sink your battleship, then you gonna regret it. So, you know, I'm gonna just say this. This is the time, like I said, to strengthen your circle. Don't go too far out your circle. Your degrees of separation shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? If y'all rolling, go see the Tommy Sotomayor debate once again. I'm gonna let y'all know that them brothers talking violence to in the black and stuff. If they come into that, if they come to the New York area with doing that stuff, just like Sankofa did to me. Oh, if you come to New York, then it's on and stuff, and all this violence and stuff against each other and stuff, people. So if you're gonna go to the debate, you better have your bulletproof vests on and stuff, and your bulletproof hats and everything else, because you never know what's gonna go on in this community now. And believe me, like I told you, now the ballroom, what is called Alhambra ballroom or whatever, that might be a safe spot. But if you go into the National Black Theater, that's not a safe spot, people. That's COINTELPRO operations right there. You know what I'm saying? They talk all that shit against Scientology and go right up in the Scientology building where they got cameras and everything recording all activity. But, you know, you talk shit about them and in they building where they control the atmosphere in they building. Come on, people. Some people are not thinking. Some people are not really paying attention. You know, y'all so-called conscious people are very weak. You're not that conscious of the atmosphere that is being created around you right now.
Yeah, and my thing with that, a lot of them are not. A lot of them really aren't. Some people eventually will catch on. They'll see what's going on, but like I said, it's a trend right now. You know, at one time, you know, dressing a certain way was in style, then another time it's not. You know, so some people catch along, some people will just go move on to the next trend, and you know, some people just going to be stuck, you know, worshiping these debates and things like that. I thought from the very first debate, I thought it was COINTELPRO-ish. You know, I thought a lot of it was. I mean, it's kind of like it's a form of self-hate. You know, that's why I say I apologize for participating in that type of activity, because I never wanted to do that. You know, people told me that, you know, the way I started off in the conscious community was by attacking Minister Inky and Ali Muhammad. That wasn't even my idea. That wasn't my idea. See, I was put up to do that. But that, when we were doing all of that back and forth stuff, and you know, because you were there too, it was nothing but ratings, man. All of a sudden, when we wanted to go back and forth with the Israelites, started getting more Facebook page likes, more hits on the show, more subscribers, more, you know, everything just started growing because people wanted to see that. They liked that. You see? But that's COINTELPRO stuff, man. Agent provocateur, like you said. And it could go back to mind control. You know, because
Yep.
people don't understand, man. You could be, you could be under mind control through different directives, through different agencies. They had the MK Ultra thing. We can get into that, but beyond MK Ultra, you could be under mind control just on a subconscious level, just based on your own hatred. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
this is what they're doing. This is what they doing. They got a lot of these people now. Like I said, they sitting up with YouTube. It's nothing, people, to create a bunch of YouTube's accounts, right? With no faces, you don't put no pictures or nothing on them. You just, and Ray did it yesterday. I blocked this man at least six times that I know about in my chat. I blocked him. He came back, and Ray. Hey, Israel Doctrine blocked me for no. I blocked him again. He come back with another page. I blocked him again. I'm like, how many pages do this brother got? Or do this agent or whoever the hell that is got? So you see it more and more. Michael Edwards, Basim, all of them. You doing something, next thing you know, they come in the chat. They putting stuff in there. So once again, it's easy, people, to get a YouTube page and type in whatever name, and you can make your password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can make that password for all of them, meaning it's easy to get access to them, right? But the way YouTube work, if you got accounts that's tied together, if I'm watching your video and you, right, block one account, all I do is go down to the other account, turn it on, and start typing right back in the chat again. So in doing this, you have people creating dummy pages of In the Black Media, Lex page. It might be a dummy page of me out there. I doubt if it's a dumber page of me, though, because everybody know me, and for the most part, I stay live all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to know where I'm at and what I'm doing. I'm on my couch talking, right? But they create these dummy pages and they create an atmosphere out there. So you see them, they coming over like, oh, he this and that or whatever. Yesterday, they had Doggy Diamonds all in my chat. Like, this brother ain't did nothing, said nothing about me. What the video is? I ain't got no evidence. So who's over here trying to push that narrative in my chat? Agent
Yeah,
provocateurs. What if it's government or what if it's by them? That's why at the same time I brought that out, that every time I do a show, that brother would call me about 300 times. Beep, beep. You hear my Skype going off. Beep, beep. My Skype, I'm cutting it off. Calling me again. Once again, what do you find the time to keep calling me like that? That's why I got that number to the Navy Yard. I put it up there, said Navy Yard this and that, and I put it out to the public. And y'all that was live with me when I did that the other day, I played me calling him, and you could hear him saying, this is Joseph, this, that, and the other. This guy calls me over and over again on an unknown number, which I would say from the Navy Yard, trying to aggravate me. But everybody's friends with him. Everybody going to his platform now. People, I'm telling you, it's an atmosphere that's detrimental to you being pushed. It's an agenda being pushed. And they got people in the conscious community. They have people in the conscious community. Now, I'm going to be quiet after this statement. I used to do a show back here a while ago. Not my show. I did it for free. The man needed some help. I went and was a host on this show. I talked to the Queen Pen sister, the drug Queen Pen sister that was on America Most Wanted, right? That's the Christian pastor now. She turned her life over to Christ and she's doing a Christian thing. I talked to her. I talked to some old school hip hop heads. I talked to some other people. But you know who also I talked to? I talked to Professor Griff. And Griff is a asshole, right? So what's our degrees of separation? Have I met him before? Never met him physically in my life. Have I talked to him before? Yes, I did. And he brought that bullshit over to that show that I was a host of. And at that time, you know what I said? I don't need to be known for getting into it with this dude who was quote unquote pretty much legendary in the community. He was doing this whole what's that shit? Illuminati stuff, his whole Illuminati, all this and that. I said, I don't need to be known for getting into it with this dude. I shut the show off. Boop. Y'all know me, I'm the asshole that'll do that. I just shut the show off. I'm like, and the dude was mad at me because it was his show. But I was like, fuck that dude, man. That dude pompous, he got an attitude and stuff, right? But I didn't make history like In the Black did for going at Professor Griff and, you know, having a squabble with Professor Griff. I just want to let y'all know, like I said, I've been around for a while. I done talked and dealt with a lot of people outside of my platforms, but on platforms that I was doing with other people. So people, once again, they building an atmosphere that y'all ass will not be able to survive if you don't really, really wake the fuck up. Right now, y'all got the lesser light. You're going to need the greater light because this lesser light only going to shine so far, so long, and there's only so much you see. When the greater light, it's like a candle in the sun. You can have a candle at night, but when the sun come out, you can put your candle out. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have some degrees with a lot of people, you know, Griff, a lot of those guys, you know, back in the Carbon Radio days, man. We used to contact all those people and ask them, hey, man, you trying to be a guest on our show? Whatever, you know. The ones who thought they were too big for us, like Griff and them, they never showed up. They never wanted to do anything. We actually had Minister Inky and Ali Muhammad. They were like one of, you know, our first two big names, quote unquote, you know. We had a lot of other people, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Griff was somebody that we contacted. We wanted him to be on the show. Thought like, you know, who the hell is this guy? Whatever. Even Polite. You know what I'm saying? I was looking at an old message I sent him years ago. I asked him to come on the show. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely, you know, I know how you feel about the degrees of separation thing, man. You know, as far as what you were saying earlier about the agent stuff, man. I remember, you know, especially on Twitter and Facebook and things, man. You had the whole faceless revolution. You know, you got guys, they'll just have a picture of like King Tut on their page, start talking all that nonsense. You don't never see no pictures of them, right? You just see all this stuff about, you know, just a bunch of garbage. And you don't never see that. They do the same thing on YouTube. And then they ask me, why don't I show my face? I do videos where I show my face. I've done it. You know, I had pictures on Facebook, all of that. So people, you know, they always asking, you know, me to show my face, which I do, but you know, it's a lot of people there that you never see their face. I even knew one lady. She was like, you know, we were talking for a while, and I seen her because, you know, we talked on Skype or whatever, and, you know, she was pro-black, whatever, black conscious, whatever. I asked her, I was like, yo, why don't you have any pictures or whatever on your Facebook page? She's like, oh, because I work for the government. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that going on, man. So you got people trying to protect their jobs and whatever, but yet they're on social media adding to the climate while, you know, they're going to work, clocking in, doing this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, show face. Stand for what you believe in. But, you know.
Man, it's funny that you're saying it, adding to the climate, and y'all know the pair Arab ain't showed his face yet. But people support a faceless man in the community.
Yeah, that's
faceless man in the community. That's why I said, you know, people keep telling me, well, you need to, like, me and D was in it yesterday about the pair Arab. But like I said, even with this, you got to think, and I keep telling y'all, that nigga is a sleeper cell in this community. Sinetta done tied himself into the pair Arab. So if Sinetta and the Pale Arab are friends and Griff is friends with Sinetta, what degrees of separation are there? People, 6 degrees of separation is just a theory that the next person, the friend of a friend, is a friend. That's why you already know the Pale Arab and Sinetta was in bed with each other, because Michael Elwood is the one that is in between Sinetta and the Pale Arab. Michael Elwood had his number. Sinetta called him because of the attack on my channel. So degrees of separation is just like that.
Hey, and not to mention, you know, years ago too, you know, I was looking at some old messages. Years ago, they were setting me up for a debate on Carbon Radio with Michael Evans. You know, I didn't know him at the time. I'm pretty sure he didn't know me, but I was looking at my old messages. We were supposed to debate, but you know, in the messages he said I guess he prayed about it, and you know, he wasn't supposed to do it because it was time for prophecy. This was years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even realize that I didn't even realize that I talked to him before. See?
Right. Well, like you say, if somebody contacting you or you contacting them, you know, then people ask you what's going on, then that's just it. It's like, oh, there go the degrees of separation. It's a friend of a friend. It always happened that way on Facebook. You know, brother see a nice woman posting on another brother post or whatever. Oh man, she look good. Oh, she a Hebrew Israelite, or she into consciousness, or she Kemet. Boop, let me add up. We in the same circle. I get down with the hotel stuff too. You know what I'm saying? But let me show y'all another one. This brother post this for me. I was trying to play some of that last night. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I'm gonna play the audio. The visual is this. Well, let me see. Yeah, shit. I'm always putting my damn channel in danger. Danger. Been so long. Get on the flow. Right. So let me play the video. I'm gonna have to get me another channel when I'm doing this stuff.
Yeah, make sure you don't get that right.
Let me see. I mean, it don't matter. Like I said, man, I done did my work. I will forever be legendary. I'll be saying Israel doctrine from here to the end of time. I think I did good with all right. So matter of fact, oh, that's divine right there. I was just finna say that I'm on the side of this video. But that's divine. That's the old Shamaha Torah where I did my legendary debate with Dr. Mayat. But check this out, right? Check it out.
All right, this is Rudy, and I normally try to stay focused on Schaefer Cox. A lot of stuff, crazy stuff going on in the world. People are concerned they're going to try to take our guns. I'm like, they ain't going to take our guns. There ain't no way, because some of us ain't going to give it up. But in any event, there was last night when all this stuff was happening. I thought to myself, well, that part of town, the Black Hebrew Israelites like to hang out downtown, and I just wonder if they have anything to say about it. And I almost made a video, but I thought to myself, well, no, I ain't going to say anything. I don't have any proof, right? I mean, it's just speculation. But this picture came out today, and this is like Michael Xavier Johnson. Is that right? Am I understanding all this right? You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to be putting out bad information now. Well, what's he wearing there? What do you think that is? This purple robe with this garb. What do you think that represents? Just curious. Does it look like this? Does it look like that right there? Does it look like that? Does it look like this? Let me ask you guys something. I made a video video where our open carry march came across these guys, and I confronted them about their belief system. Are you guys aware of what the Black Hebrew Israelites believe? Do you know that if you're white, the Black Hebrew Israelites believe you are the children of Satan, and that you will be their slaves for probably a period of 1,000 years, and then God will destroy all the white people, and that we are destined to spend eternity in hell based upon the color of our skin. They also use the King James Bible, and they stand on street corners throughout America. I've confronted them multiple times in the past. This particular video they've uploaded got over 163,000 views. Now on my channel, it gets like, what, 200 views? But people take my videos, they put it on their channel, and they get 163,000. I never really complained about my channel not being popular, but you know, I just deal with it, right? It's like I don't play my violin, I don't complain. It's just a fact I've learned to become accustomed to. But this is my video, and some guy puts it on his channel and says Edomite draws gun, which is absolutely not true. And but I basically do confront them verbally about their belief system, that all white people are going to hell, and I try to expose them for their evil satanic belief system. And a lot of the black people are buying, Hispanic people too. They say that blacks and Hispanics and American Indians are the true Israelites based upon their skin. Anyway, you can watch this video. I've got multiple ones like it. I've confronted them multiple times. But what got me to make a video today is this is supposedly the guy who was killed by a robot. Is that true? And he's wearing this purple robe. You guys don't think that looks really close to this? You guys don't think it looks close to this guard? Now, these guys are training to destroy white people. They have been indoctrinated with hatred for white people. If they are cooks in your restaurant, they will absolutely do anything they can to destroy you, poison you. If you talk to them and you get them to come forward about their belief systems, they absolutely hate white people, and they think we're the devil, and they can attack us, whether it be poisoning our food or slitting our tires or scratching our cars. And you say, well, you're exaggerating. Hold on just a second. This one. One of the Black Hebrew Israelites likes to hold up this picture. It's a picture of a little white girl burning in flames. That's what they want to do to you. Now you say you're just promoting fear and hate mongering. No. I get along with a lot of black folks. No, hold on. I get along with a lot of black folks. A lot of black folks, and you know, it's not all black folks, of course, but it's a small minority, and they've been indoctrinated to hate you as a white person, right? And when they walk around, they're in a war, and they're out to destroy white people. And you say, well, it's not a large group. They're in every major city in all of America. They're growing, and their belief system is spreading. Okay, and if you don't have to believe it. I don't care if you believe it, but I'm just telling you, we need to be aware of it. I'm not saying you got to panic or anything like that, but you better be aware of it, and you better understand what's going on. Because you know, if this was white people, here's the deal: if this was white people on the street corner, and we were wearing uniforms and preaching the death and destruction of black people because they are the children of the devil, and they deserve to be our slaves, and they deserve to rot in hell, and God's going to throw them in hell, and we were using the Bible to justify those beliefs, you would see every major news media in America exposing a group of white people that held those beliefs. But you never see these folks being exposed on media at all. You never see anybody talk about them, but yet they're growing in numbers, and they are funded by somebody. Who are they funded by? Who's funding them? Who's driving their organization? And my question to you guys is, does that look like a Black Hebrew Israelite garb to you? It looks like it to me. So anyway, a lot of people have known about this cancer in our society, and I went and confronted them. You know the complaints that I got when I went and confronted these guys about their belief systems, that black people are superior and the children of Israel and white people need to rot in hell? The complaints that I got is I'm disturbing their religious beliefs, and I shouldn't walk into their space and upset them so much because everybody has a right to believe what they want to believe, and I'm a rude redneck white boy because I dare go in and confront them that they're teaching a satanic belief that God is a respecter of persons based on skin color. So I ended up being the bad guy in my video. This right here. I didn't draw no gun on anybody. We just happened to be doing our Second Amendment march. But I tell you what, I don't know what to say. My question, I guess, is this guy a black Hebrew Israelite? That would explain his hatred for white people. And I doubt you'll hear anybody in the news talk about it, but hey, maybe they will. We'll see.
So, is he a black Hebrew Israelite, or is he a comedic science advocate? What is he?
Yeah,
There,
he tried to tie in the garb that he was wearing with the IUIC's purple shirt.
yeah.
You know, IUIC was just on BET. They just had a show on BET.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling you, that this shit gonna get deep. The rabbit hole gonna get deep. You're gonna be in Wonderland pretty soon, and you're gonna be wondering how the fuck did we end up in this situation. And I'm gonna be like, nigga, I was telling y'all all along that these people is setting y'all ass up. That's just what it is. How do you get in this position? Because you don't listen to people that use reasoning and somebody that's around it and see it and dealt with it. You know, vocab alone, come over this, that, and the other. People hating this stuff. What did I tell that brother? I was like, please stop using them as the poster boards for who Israel is, because that's what you get. You get these type of people standing on a street corner talking that noise, and then you get people saying Hebrew Israelites preach that we gonna this, that, and everything else. That's what Ricard did with James White. Look, Jesse Williams, James White, all these names, this JW, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. So anyway, that's what he did. And people talking about, oh, you hating on Ricard. I said Ricard gives salvation to the white folks. He gives salvation to the other nations and stuff. How in the hell do you not do that on James White's show? That would have been a good propaganda tool to use against the people, to show that Hebrew Israelites is not them Hebrew Israelites. But you won't have nothing to combat that. So when he had the opportunity to ease the mind of the good old white folks, or whatever you want to say, from y'all perspective, he had the opportunity to ease them and calm them down, because he believed that salvation is more than for more people than just Israel. But let James White bait him and run with the old One West doctrine that he come away from under for political reasons. Why I say political reasons? Because everybody say he lost the first debate. So during the second conversation or debate discourse, he felt like he had to play more to that Hebrew Israelite audience and crowd. So they'll say, no, Ricard won. He told them the truth because he's spitting the same old garbage. People, I'm telling y'all, y'all might not want to hear me. Y'all might want to hate. Y'all might want to do whatever you want. But the degrees of separation for you black folks, because remember, once again, what I tell y'all the other day, when you go to the government and you go further back in them rooms, they make you take oaths, and then you got to get secret service clearance. You got to get this clearancy shit. And when they do that, they get everybody in your family name and document them, your next of kin, your children, this, that, and the other. People, it's not a game out here. And these people are not playing. And your conscious community leaders, whom all you have ties to, financial wise, and everything else. When you order, when you was ordering off a town zone, your financial record said you have supported or watched this. When your YouTube channel is subscribed to them, The degrees of separation is not that far away. You know what I'm saying? When you YouTube friends with them, when you in these groups dialogue with them, everything else. So conscious community leaders, your followers are tied into you too. Like Professor Griff. You don't know if you go to Black and Nobel and do a show and somebody come up, sign an autograph, can I get a picture and take a picture with you? Now you forever linked to them on social media and stuff, face recognition, programs, this, that, and everything else. Man, this shit is not no joke. Y'all could take it for a joke. The community is getting hot, y'all. It's getting hot. Now,
Yeah.
it's
One of the
still
things
gonna be. Go ahead.
I was going to add, one of the things they do too. I seen an article years ago where they were talking about, they look at what kind of books you check out at the library. They look at what type of books that you buy off Amazon and things like that. Linked to your debit card or whatever. So yeah, they on top of a lot of that stuff, man.
Oh yeah. Well, just like foreign terrorists, the domestic terrorists now, the street vendor is gonna be looked at more. So when you heard the Lex conversation, I won't even say it, right? When you heard the Lex conversation and people was like, oh no, he did this and that. People, you think them people ain't coming to check out what's going on? Because you could be funding a domestic terrorist group. This shit is real now, people. You gonna have to rethink your whole thing. If you thought you was playing chess before, nigga, you gonna have to play some grandmaster level chess now, because this shit is getting that serious now. Hillary Clinton, Trump gonna be in office. They gonna purge the White House of that blackness. They gonna go in there and whitewash everything again. Like literally, the whole fucking government is gonna get whitewashed again. They gonna insert their supremacy over us again. They gonna try, and y'all gonna say, well, we need the buck and this and that. Now what you do is get them their space and let them do what they gonna do and secure yourself, and don't be a part of their system. If they try to, the whole chip thing, which we chipped anyway when we dealing with our phones and credit cards, you walking around with a chip on you, you just ain't got it in your right hand. But if you holding that phone, let me show you. If you holding the phone in your right hand and the chip is in there, you got the chip in it. You just literally don't have it plunged in your skin.
Yeah.
But you got an EPT card, you got a credit card, you're not dealing with cash no more. You swiping that card, that chip in there is just like GPS. They know where you go, they know what you shopping, what you doing, this and that. When you go in the grocery stores, the cameras in there. There's no way that y'all don't understand we in 2016 going in 2017 and the fucking system is already set up. All they gonna do is, like I said, even this whole, what they say, Google, you got the circle and you got the things, the blue, yellow, and red, it's 666 or whatever. All this stuff, all this conspiracy, Illuminati shit. I mean, ain't no use of being scared. The thing is, you need to find out how to survive this bullshit that is up on us. That's what you got to do. The Bible is the best tool for your liberation. And the only way you gonna learn how to use that tool to liberate yourself from this system is you got to listen to the right people. Because you see this system and what they push for is Hebrew Israelitism that's under attack right now, right? Is they are domestic terrorists and they always talking about what they'll do to us. What did they got do? If he shot them police, if he's a Hebrew Israelite, that would explain his hatred for white people. Why the fuck you think James White just went and recorded and had him on the show? People, this stuff is not incident. This stuff is real. But I'm not afraid. I'm not telling y'all to be afraid. All I'm telling y'all to do is get righteous. Righteous over wickedness. Get righteous. Because only the righteous is going to truly, truly survive what's coming down.
Yeah,
You
Bible
got the,
believers in America are actually starting to be a minority. You know, atheism is on the rise. A lot of you know, the spirituality and things like that, that's on the rise as well. Um, like you know, back to what you were saying too about the presidential election. I remember back in 2008, you know, that was the first time I could vote. You know, Obama was hot. You know, I remember like a couple years before he ran for president, the first time I heard of Obama was he came to Norfolk State University to speak or whatever. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, you know, he's a senator. Oh, he was so great, man. You should have saw him." And you know, next thing you know, then he's running for president. And you know, I was actually happy to vote for Obama. I had the shirt, the button. I thought stuff was going to change. You know, I was on that hope. You know, that Jesse Jackson stuff. But then, you know, I started growing mentally, and then, you know, all that just started fading away. You know, so somebody like me, you know, they can look up my voting history. They see I voted for Obama twice, once in the primary, and then another time in the general election. You know, because he really, you know, I was 20 then, so you know, us. I mean, he had the younger kids, like he had us, like you were black and young, and it was like your first time voting. I mean, you basically, I mean, Obama had you. You know, you felt like the racial narrative was over. You know, you listened to his story. You didn't really want to get deep into his story because the deeper you got into it, you really see he's a Harvard grad from Hawaii, so he really doesn't relate to the common black man. But you know, you kind of felt like he did. You know, he had some type of swag to him, stuff like that. Um, you know, now he's on his way out, and it just seems like now the racial dialogue is just extremely heavy. You know, a lot of it is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
yeah,
You
well,
know,
if I had my money right and did what I wanted to do around February, I wanted to go to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, and talk about black liberation theology, what he came in on with Jeremiah Wright and that whole thing, and he had to get rid of his preacher and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The man came in saying that we, the children of Israel, in his speech to the Congress, what they call them things, when he addressed the nation, what they call them things, I forget.
State of the Union.
Yeah, State of the Union and stuff. He was saying how blacks related to the people in the Bible, the Israelites. You know, they got a whole hate website with Obama and all that stuff on there. It's still up. They still got
Yeah,
them
then you
videos.
know the and see the higher you rise, the more your past and your affiliations are questioned. You know, what type of beliefs and things like that are you tied to? So, you know, a lot of people too that are into the black consciousness and things like that, they try to remain anonymous, but you gotta understand something. Like the more you do, the uh the more your background is gonna be scrutinized. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you see,
And this is
Trump
why I
just
never
put out a
really.
picture of him. Trump just put out a picture of him at a wedding where he was wearing Muslim garb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, he's from. Well, you know, I have heard that you know he's actually from Indonesia. You know, and they say that you know at one time he was a Muslim. You know, they had the whole thing talking about his name was actually Barry Shabazz. He was from Hawaii, whatever. Looked up. Yeah, we talked about that before. You know, they changed the social security number and stuff like that. Um, I mean that type of stuff. You know, you're just gonna be more and more scrutinized the higher you rise. You know, that's what a lot of these people also have to understand. You know, this is why I never took a serious job in law enforcement because if they really wanted to go into me like that, man, I'm done. all the degrees, all the degrees and connections I have, man. That's that. You know, that's just not going to fly. So yeah, man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Well, you know, Barack Obama got two names. That's why they call him Barry. Barry is the Indonesia guy and this and that and everything else. But let me do this. I'm trying to black out these URLs. But let me do this. See this website here? Now, you know I ain't the best reader. I'm a functioning illiterate. So I need you to read for me, will you? Can you see it? Chris.
Yeah, let me brighten up the screen.
All right.
Here.
Start with the highlight.
Says, I imagine the stories of ordinary black people merging with the stories of David and Goliath, Moses and Pharaoh, the Christians in the lion's den, Ezekiel's field of dry bones. Those stories of survival and freedom and hope became our story, my story. The blood that had spilled was our blood. The tears are tears, until this black church on this bright day seen once more a vessel carrying the story of a people into the future generations and into a larger world. Our trials and triumphs became not once unique and universal and more than black. In chronicling our journey, the stories and songs gave us a means to reclaim memories that we didn't need to feel shame about. Memories that all people might study and cherish, and with which we could start to rebuild. That's Black Liberation Theology 101 right there.
That's Black Theology 101. Barack Obama in his state of, okay, matter of fact, let me show it again, right? Now, this is what this website putting up, just like that brother just did that thing, right? We see in priesthood, look at that, a skull head over Barack thing, right? It said black supremacy. Sound like King Noble, don't it? Obama suggests blacks are the chosen people. In his famous speech of race relations, a more perfect union, Obama made reference to I can't get it out, people. I'm a functioning illiterate.
Black nationalist belief that blacks are the real Jews, the chosen people. White supremacists, such as the Christian identity movement, have a similar race-based Gnostic concept that whites are the biblical chosen people and inherited the Jews. Covenant with God. Yeah.
Yeah, so what it boils down to, people, is, and I don't know if y'all seen all that. Hopefully y'all did. What it boils down to is it's saying the whites say they Jews and the blacks say they Jews. And they got a covenant agreement with God. But it would seem that the blacks is waking up and fighting for their position as the true Jews. The true children of Jacob. The children of Israel, that's beyond flesh and blood. The children of Jacob, that's DNA. Right? So the narrative that's pushed by the Israelite that's black, I'm not going to say the black Hebrew Israelite because they push a crazy ass narrative. And that's why I keep telling y'all, I do not tap myself into that. You know, people tap me into that and say, well, he got loose ties to the Hebrew Israelite community. Yeah, they very loose. We teach similar things in some places because we teach the Bible. So when you're dealing with passages, they can be agreed upon or disagreed upon. And then the interpretation of them could be agreed upon or disagreed upon in a lot of cases. But I guess I'm so many degrees of separation from the Hebrew Israelite movement because shit, I talk to Hebrew Israelites. So people, this shit is real. Barack laid it down. He started talking about Michelle because Michelle most definitely is a Negro. Barack is a Kenyan. He's from Africa and stuff. But he say, Michelle, my wife, her family, her blood ties, her people. Y'all don't realize he's going out of office. He kicked this shit off. He jump-started it. He got the booster cables and said, psh, and tied us right up into it. He watching these people get senseless murdered and stuff. Eric, what's the dude? What was the black dude that was over the court systems and stuff? Eric, nah, that's the man that got choked. What's the name?
Eric
what was
Holditch.
the black?
Eric Holditch.
Eric Holditch. Yeah, Holditch. Right. Where he at now? Who's sitting in that seat now? Why people ain't going out here prosecuting these police and stuff?
Well, I mean, the thing is, no matter what no one does or what they say, you can't micromanage policing. You know, that's a whole separate sector of work by itself. I mean, everyone wants to micromanage and talk about what should be done, how they would do it, or what they need to be doing, and things like that. But it's impossible to micromanage policing. Community, every precinct, every county has its own way of doing things and going about things. And yeah, it's going to be racism, it's going to be aggression, it's going to be all of that there, you know, in the mix. But, you know, it's just important that people don't sensationalize certain things. You know, it's unfortunate that, you know, people die because of racism, because of abuse of power and abuse of authority. You know, one of my favorite topics is who's in power, who has the authority. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's just sad that, you know, people try to micromanage policing. That's one thing that the Justice Department, I hope they don't try to do, because that's a dangerous thing in itself when you're telling
No,
the
I'm
actual.
just saying at the same time, it's not about micromanaging. If you got
they don't want to feel like they're anti-law enforcement. You see?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you got a video of a man shooting another man unarmed, it ain't even no question. You need to prosecute him. That is a killing.
I agree. He should be prosecuted to the fullest extent. But, you know, we got to stop. We got to stop using these stories as you know, some type of standard that this is what goes on in America. That's not even a percentage of what really happens.
Oh, I agree with you, like you said about whoever. I mean, that's the same way they do in the club. It's called illusion. It's called magic. You put a mirror in the club, and it ain't number 20 people in the club, but the mirror make it look like it's 40 people in the club, right? So with the cameras and stuff, they feed you all this footage of these type of negative incidents, and it might not be number 10, but they put it on a cycle and they do certain things, or they go to the studio and create it and put it out there. It ain't even happening. They create it in the studio and put it in the news media, and then the people fall for it. So once again, it's social engineering.
Right. And you know, they should be prosecuted. They should be prosecuted. But really, I mean, and it's sad that I'm saying this, because I can't remember who said it almost the same way I said it, but they got in a lot of hot water. But I think it's the truth. Look, that's not that type of stuff does not represent what goes on in America daily. That's what they want to show you. You see what I'm saying? That's not. It's just like the whole thing. You know, the whole thing. Like, I like dealing with class. You know, I'm here in Northern Virginia. It's a lot of white collar. It's a lot of government, And I'm from Southern Virginia, where it's just a lot of blue collar, it's a lot of boots on the ground type workers, and a lot of foreigners come here, and I talk to them, and they have never been anywhere else in the United States, and they actually think that this is America. But I have to tell them this is not an accurate representation of America. Most places you go, it's a lot of blue collar, it's a lot of working class families. This is not, but you ask them, they think this is it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just so much of a bigger picture. That's just my point with that whole thing.
Yeah, I feel you. And once again, that's what the cameras do. They give you a false sense of what's going on. The same thing I keep saying, what you saying now, I keep saying when you post ISUPK and the One West, it's on Sinetta TV, and the people always put them out front as those are the Hebrew Israelites. You know, they kind of force themselves on people, but at the same time, the people are ignorant that it's another type of Hebrew Israelite out there, or just an Israelite out there that don't even call himself Hebrew Israelite. And though he may believe that he's a physical seed of Jacob, or they're physical seeds of Jacob, they don't uphold to the One West doctrine. But people feed that negative picture to the people, and then soon you say, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. There you go. What degrees of separation do you have when they look on the internet and see people reporting like that guy, that European, right? And saying, look at these guys. So then you become the image of that to society, because that's what's fed to society by James White, by Vocab Malone, so on and so forth. That's why when they was on my show, like I said, when I talked to him, I was saying, please stop giving the negative stereotype. Please stop giving these people that fake like they're this and that. That's why I brought up yesterday. They got a video where some ISUPK are going at Jesse White. I mean, Jesse White. I'm getting this. See, that's that social engineering, right? They got me with James White and Jesse White. Jesse White is the Secretary of State for Illinois, right? So by Illinois, Jesse White popped in my head. See what I'm saying? Jesse Williams and James White. Jesse White. But that's it. That's how our brain work, people. Subconsciously, right? But Jesse Jackson, right? They got an ISUPK confronting Jesse Jackson just like he was confronted when he went down to St. Louis, Ferguson, right? And so people like, off with the old guard, we the new guard. The conscious community, we the new guard now. We the younger generation is coming through. The old folks is gone. That's how you hear them doing what they do in the House of Conscious with Zion Lex and James Pauls and all of that, you know. So people, if y'all don't believe it, you better watch what you watching on this motherfucking YouTube, TV, and everything, and what you feeding yourself. I get these images and glimpses for going out and walking in society, going over my friend's house, my neighbor's house, going to, you know, the local cafe, and they got the news on. My TV is right over there. Game of Thrones went off, TV went off. I got to take it and put it in the back room. It's clogging up my flow. It's taking space up in here. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. You know what I'm saying? Watch what you watching, because they programming. Whether you know it or not, you're being socially engineered by those who are programming. But go ahead, Chris. You the man.
Well,
you there?
you know, back to the brother that allegedly shot the police in Dallas. You know, now he's being tied into the whole quote unquote conscious community. You know, then you get out, like you just showed the video with the guy. He mistaked the garb that he was wearing for IUIC shirt, the purple shirt. So now he's even saying he might be a Hebrew Israelite. So it's even to the point where, you know, it all gets jumbled up together into one big hodgepodge of racism, black supremacy, and no matter what your belief, you know, if you subscribe to A, B, or C, then you're in the same box. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's just look at it.
The Southern Poverty Law Center classifies hate groups and things of that nature, and you know that's what they're going to start doing. You know, a lot of people part of this whole stay woke movement. They have this thing on Twitter now, stay woke. They put up little stories of what happened and they say stay woke. You know, a lot of them are going to start being tied into a lot of this stuff too. You know, and at a particular point, you're going to have to pick your affiliation and then go watch Netter and then, you know, go watch your favorite debate and go cheer on your favorite conscious celebrity.
Yeah, but just look at it though. When you have Irritated Genie and Tazariak coming together, you have what? Hebrew Israelites and Comedics coming together now. See, so even with what that brother did, he just tied the two communities together. Well, I mistake his purple and his garb for the Hebrew Israelites. But when you have the Africa Bambaataa situation, which brings Tazariak more to the African side and being able to be joined or linked together, have those degrees of separation now because they want to come together and fight child molestation and homosexuality in the community. So now you got the Comedics and the Hebrew Israelites joined together, right? Everything that we be saying all the time, and me and Reggie started a while ago, why can't we be brothers? Once again, social engineering. Africa Bambaataa molest children, and now you got Hebrew Israelites and Comedics coming together. And then they could tie both of the communities together. So, I mean, once again, look at the shit, people.
I had to be careful myself because I almost disassociated myself with Cornel West, who's been one of my all-time great influences growing up, Cornel West. I almost disassociated myself with him because I seen him on a flyer with Polite and Shy Nigga and Boy Swap. So when I'm looking at the flyer, I'm like, why is Cornel West associating himself with these people? I almost disowned him. But, you know, it goes back to the speaking engagements, the events. This guy had a picture with Griff because he went to probably go see Griff speak somewhere and took a photo with him. You know? So Cornel West is now going to be in a group photo with these guys, and you know, my whole childhood is ruined now. Degrees of separation.
Yeah. Well, that's going to tie Eric Michael Dyson, Cornel West, and all of them to the community, and he probably was just a paid speaker. And I see you, brother. Yes, Michelle Obama, cousin is like the head of the Jewish big Jewish thing in Chicago. So yes, I mean, there go Harry Rosenberg saying blacks are Jews and this and that. Come on, y'all. It's so much stuff, man. It's so much stuff that even if it ain't a conspiracy theory, it's just so much stuff that ties in this degrees of separation that puts everything on the table. Like, oh shit, look what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, my phone's about to die, so I would love to do it again sometime in the future. Thank you.
Your battery about to die. Your phone is gonna stay alive, brother.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll talk again, y'all. Hey, I'm glad you hit me up and say let's talk. You know, I was just about to wake up, but you know, all I need is a little bit motivation, somebody with me, and I'm on. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you motivating me to do the video. I think it's a lot of good sound bites in there. It's a lot of good sound bites if you want to use them negative too. But it's a lot of good sound bites and things for people to think about. Because, you know, people wake up and get on that bullshit in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this conversation is not considered bullshit the most. and they consider some of the things you and I said. So, you know, hopefully the people thank you too, you know. Your phone did. His phone died, people. But anyway, all right, people, that's the conversation for the day. I mean, go out, talk to your friends, tell them how I made this YouTube talking about this stuff and see how they react to it. And here you go, talking points, things to talk about, things to consider. Peace to the social outcasts. Stay off these social drugs. Peace.